We have here with us Dr. Sharalaa Devi. Let's get comfortable and dive into our third pillar, sleeping deeply. So Dr. Sharalaa is here with us today. She's an internal medicine physician, and she's going to guide us on how deep rest helps us heal and recharge. Dr. Sharalaa, the floor is yours.
All right. Hi, everyone. So we have heard about the two main pillars of the E.A.S.E program. Now coming to the third pillar of the E.A.S.E program, sleep deeply. So before we go deeper into this topic, let's see some reactions on how many of us have at least 7 hours of sleep last night. Can we have some emotions, reactions? Okay, I can see some. Right, okay. I believe that this topic is going to help us open up our, mind on why is sleep so important. Now, moving on, before we go in depth in the topic, let's see what sleep means, right? It's a complete resting state whereby your brain activity, your body function, your breathing rate, your heart rate all comes to a slow motion. And there will be an absence of your senses, and the entire body muscles will be relaxed, right? This is where you actually fall asleep, and that is an excellent sleep. I'm here to just remind you, or rather reinforce again, maybe we have forgotten that sleep is our basic need, and it's our birthright, which means we have to give that due respect to our body to make sure that we have this sleep. However, it's really sad to know insomnia or sleep difficulty is a major global crisis right now. We have 8.2 billion in population, and 1/3 of the population is suffering from insomnia. Isn't that a big number, an alarming one? Now, zooming down to Malaysia, 2 in 5 of adults, or 38% of adults in Malaysia, are not getting enough sleep. I'm wondering why, or do you know the answers? Let's ask ourselves. Now, what is that gives us that quality of sleep? The length of sleep is the most important, whereby WHO and many studies has mentioned for an adult, minimum 7 to 9 hours of sleep is enough, or rather important, so that our body revives for the next day. And then comes continuity of sleep. You see, when we sleep, we shouldn't be having dreamings and nightmares and getting up in between, literally sleeping like a log. That's what continuity of sleep means. Depth of sleep. We'll see further information with regards to it in the subsequent slides. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is the importance of this deep sleep we are talking about? Why is it so important, right? Before zooming down further, a little bit of an information about our sleep cycle, right? One sleep cycle has 4 stages. We call it stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out of all the stages, if you can't remember anything, just remember stage 3, which is called the deep stage sleep or slow wave sleep, wherein every magical transformation takes place in this stage. And that is why the deep state of sleep is so important. And I must say, in a one night sleep, you'll have about 4 to 6 cycles of these stages. Now, why did I say the stage 3 of sleep, which is so important? This is why. Every cell gets regenerated during your deep state of sleep. Production of new cells, cell growth, repairment of your new cells. That happens in every part of your body, and that eventually enhances your immune system. So that is why if you do not have enough sleep, you tend to wake up really feeling literally sick sometimes. Now, if you don't have that time to have that cell regeneration process taking place, this is one of the major problems that takes place. Cardiovascular health will be affected. Now, there's a very big relation between sleep adequacy and our heart health. Why? When you don't have enough sleep, as I've mentioned, there won't be cell repair, there won't be cell regeneration. In fact, there'll be inflammation of the cells, which lead to increased cardiac events, increased heart attacks, higher blood pressures. Yeah. Second point, cognitive health, which is the most important point um, uh, sorry about that. The most important factor which will benefit with good sleep. A simple study has mentioned that when you don't have enough sleep, the risk of dementia increases in older adults. There is a study that mentions there's 51% increase in dementia risk when you do not have enough sleep or good quality of sleep. So why does this happen? Why does this happen? Let's have a look. When you have enough sleep, when you allow that process of regeneration and repair takes place, it gives an avenue for memory network to take place. So new memory networks gets regenerated. So that helps with boosting memory power. At the same time, it also helps to clear the space and capture new information or facts for us to boost our learning capacity. Do you see how important it is? Not only for adults, in fact, for the kids, for the children, boosting memory power and boosting learning capacity. We always concentrate on how much they do work, how they need to concentrate in studies, but the basics, sleep, do they have enough or not? Then coming on to metabolic health, your diabetes related conditions, your high blood pressure related conditions, high cholesterol, weight gain, obesity, which is a major problem right now. So what happens when you don't have enough sleep? It affects your appetite hormones, which are called ghrelin and leptin. So what happens? When that is affected, your craving starts increasing and you start consuming in abundance. You start having constant hunger, and that increases your stress hormones. What is it? The cortisol. Again, the same cycle. Increases your cravings, increases your hunger pangs. You start eating, you start binging, especially when it comes to ultra processed food. What is it? Chips, burgers, coffee, name it. Why do you think we have a risk of obesity coming up in trend? Yes, as simple as we did not tackle the basics of the basics. We do not have enough sleep to allow the cell to allow the recovery to take place. Now, the final reason why do you need enough sleep? Emotional health. It is so important, right? 15 to 20% of us have insomnia, and when you have insomnia, it's always related to depression. In fact, insomnia is the main symptom. Falling difficulty to fall asleep is the main symptom or the first symptom in those who suffer from depression. And 20 times likely, those who have inadequacy to sleep, there's 20 times likely to develop anxiety disorder. Not only that, there's some days when you get up, you just feel so sick, you just feel irritated, irritable, temperamental. That is only because we did not give enough time for the recovery of our body to take place. So you cannot get up giving the best that you need to give for the next day. Now, knowing all these factors, don't you think we have to give a bit more priority for sleep in our lives? Do we need to respect ourselves more? Yes. Do we need to give more love to ourselves? Yes. But how can we do it? How can we do it? How do we practice this sleep hygiene? First and foremost, discipline in your sleep timing. Consistency is the most important. When you plan to sleep at a particular time every day, keep it at the same time every day of your days. Why? Because that helps with your sleep cycle. It helps in your regeneration of your sleep hormone. So you sleep at the particular time and you get up at that particular time and you get up fresh. You get up to fight through that day. So that's what importance of sleep time consistency is. And then, most importantly, we realize that we have this problem with, timing and eating just prior to sleep. Some of us have very, very late timing to have our dinners, and the choice of food. Look, some New York pizza, some Godiva chocolates, whatever you want to do. Chips, burgers, it's fast, it's quick. You just want to have it because you just don't have time, right? But very unfortunately, this is the cause for your of sleep being affected and ultimately causing all this cardiovascular health and metabolic health being deranged. Instead, let us think about options like this. What about a small meal? Probably a little bit of vegetables, a little bit of carbohydrate, a little bit of protein there, or probably you just want to have some salad, or there's something called it's a millet-based food, which is highly proteinaceous and very minimal carbohydrate and energy, and helps with faster digestion. You can have that as a drink, you can have it as like a pancake, and trust me, it really, really helps with your sleep cycle. And try to make your timing as early as possible, 6, 7, or latest 8 plus. So that helps with your digestion, and then your sleep promotes your sleep habit better. So yes, a big yes for this. And then comes your pre-bed habits. Well, all of us are guilty of this, right? Screening time just before sleeping, you want to reply on your Facebook, on your Instagram, whatnot. And then, of course, you want to unwind right after a whole day of bunch of things to do, right in front of a big screen in your bedroom with some chocolate drink, ice cream. Well, sounds good, yes, looks, sounds happy, but honestly, it's going to affect your sleep cycle. It's going to deregulate your sleep pattern because the melatonin hormone, which is the hormone of darkness, will be affected when these are the habits that you have. Besides that, of course, consumption of alcohol, vaping, and smoking is not going to do any good as well. So a big no for this. Instead, let us try this tonight. Let's take the first step. What about just resting yourself just before going to bed? Have a small, tiny prayer to thank the universe, or a light reading by your best books, whichever the author is, or a simple sound of music by Mozart or jazz or anything you like. Definitely not hardcore musics, right? Because you want to calm yourself. You want that calming effect. So it's the music which gives you the calmness that you should choose. And trust me, a warm bath just before going to bed will just do the work. Seriously, try it, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a big yes for this. Now, I think many of us never gave much attention on the colors in your bedroom, right? So first and foremost, bedding colors. Subtle, simple colors as the diagram show really will promote sleep because it gives this ambience of calming effect in your bedroom as opposed to dark colors, red, black, blue, colorful. So that actually irritates your waves, sleep waves, and that will then again affect your consistency of sleep. So if you have this right now in your bed, it's time for you to do something about it. And then comes your bedroom colors, just the same. Pastel colors, light colors promote sleep, whereas dark colors like this, again, really affects your sleep pattern. Next, lighting. Lighting in terms of fluorescent light and bright lights, it's definitely going to affect your sleep hormone. If you notice you've gone to some hotels or you have stayed in hotel rooms, have you noticed they always kept the ambience with warm light? Yes, why? Because it actually stimulates the calming effect by promoting the melatonin hormone and giving you that good sleep that you need, right? So that is the ambience you should have in your bedroom. If you don't have it right now, try to make simple tweaking and here and there to make it the best ambience you need to fall asleep. Last but not least, this is my best activity just before going to sleep. You have the whole day, whether it's the best day ever or it's not so very good. But you still, before going to bed, show that gratitude exercise that you need to do. 10 points that you can think over that you feel grateful for the day. Anything for the matter, as small as possible. And thank yourself, thank the universe, thank the people you have met the whole day, for whatever reason it may be. Honestly, it helps to stimulate positive hormones within you and regulates your hormone cycle in terms of your sleep hormone, and you will definitely have a deep sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Having listening to the last 10 plus minutes, I think I really hope I've managed to convince all of us here that sleep is the most important and we need to give that love and respect for ourselves so that we can practice this quality of sleep. Let's honor and listen to our body's needs from right now. Make sleep a non-negotiable routine. I think that's the best that we can do, and that's the change that you should do today. Start today, tonight. With that, thank you very much for your kind attention. And this is the slide that I would think you will be very interested if you would like to have us in contact. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and back to you, sister Sai. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sharalaa. Your session actually helped us understand how quality rest is for our overall well-being. And it's so interesting actually because I have heard of lighting settings and a few things that we can actually do to assist our sleep. But it was something new today when I heard the color of our bedroom settings actually also plays a role in assisting our sleep. So that was something very unique to hear about. Thank you, Doctor.